Hi, this is Mike,
And this is Fran.
and you're listening to Mike and Fran Unrehearsed, episode 30. Hey guys, listen, this is Mike and Fran Unrehearsed on 216 The Net, where you can listen on Wednesdays at noon, or you can also go to Radio Garden and listen to our show, because now 216 The Net is on Radio Garden. What does that mean? That means internationally, anybody in the world can listen to our station. And believe me, our listener base is up big time because of that. So hello out there in, is it Kazakhstan? Is that how you say it?
We got a nice card from Australia.
Oh, we did.
From a man that had a picture of
That's right. Yeah, you pulled a photo off of Facebook, I think, and he's a sent out cards guy from Australia. So that was pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
I have a picture on the fireplace where I have all my cards. There's my picture looking
that's
out,
awesome.
and yours.
I'm just so happy that we have a wider area now for people to listen to our show. That's just fantastic. So, Mom, there's a couple of things that I need to make some corrections on. We haven't had to do this for a while, so I guess we've been doing pretty good. But last time we recorded our show, I made a couple of boo-boos, right? Can I say that on radio? Boo-boo? Okay. All right, so remember we were talking about Chinese New Year, or Chinese Zodiac, and I was a pig, and Mom, I said, was a tiger.
No,
she's a rabbit.
I'm a rat.
She's a rabbit. No, you're not a rat. You're
I'm
a rabbit.
a rabbit? Okay.
No. Remember the rat and the ox were going
Yeah,
neck
we
and neck,
told
and
the
then the rabbit
story,
jumped
yes.
ahead, and the ox goes,
Yes.
hey, and,
Yes.
and the rat goes, ha, ha, ha.
Yep.
Anyway, that's what happened. But I remember because when we had a holiday, I think it was Easter, and you were sitting on a couch, and for some reason we were going around the room and finding out what everybody's sign was, and I guess Ryan, your grandson, was a snake, and you were a rabbit, and you were sitting together on the couch, and I go, Mom, you better move because you're sitting next to a snake. So that's how I remember you were. But if you do 126.26, you're a tiger. If you do 126.27, you're a rabbit. So I got that clear. All right. The other mistake I made was that I was saying that they were changing the age you needed to be to get a vaccination for COVID-19 in Wisconsin to like lowering it by like 5 years or something like that. But it's actually Indiana. So I thought I had to drive to Wisconsin, which wouldn't have been too far because we're only an hour away, but Indiana's kind of a haul. And, anyway, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, people are going crazy about getting COVID-19, like driving for 240 miles, for God's sakes. It's getting a little bit insane. But I want to bring up one other thing. So the vaccine that everybody wants is what? What, Mom? Which is the one? There's Moderna and there's Pfizer.
Oh, Pfizer. I don't know
Pfizer.
how you pronounce it.
So last week I said, yeah, I got to get that Pritzker vaccination. Pritzker, Pfizer, Pritzker. Hey, you know what I mean. It's a mistake anybody could make. So I meant to say Pfizer. Pritzker is not a vaccination. It's a man. He's a, what? What is he, Mom?
Governor.
He's a governor.
Yeah.
He's governor of Illinois. Yeah.
I wanted to go back. Well, you...
Clear it out there, Ma. Okay. All right, there you go. Okay. So what were you going to say?
Well, speaking of tiger, I wanted to mention about, you were talking about tiger, rabbit, the different phases of the thing, about Tiger Woods.
You know how sometimes you get something in there and you just can't get it out, Hey, that happens. Ma, are you doing okay now?
Yes, I wanted to mention when you said the word tiger, about Tiger Woods, that he is recuperating well and what a bad accident he had.
Yeah.
And it was kind of good to see on TV at a tournament, the players were wearing
right.
the red shirt and the dark black trousers.
That's right.
Sort of to pep him up.
I'm sure that put a smile on his face from ear to ear when he saw that, right?
They said it did.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty bad accident.
Right.
But, I think he's lucky that he was driving a BMW because he was a lot more protected in that vehicle than he would have been in another domestic vehicle that didn't have the protection and the 15 different types of airbags and all that.
Saved him.
Yeah, he did. He got lucky. He got lucky. So hopefully he'll recover and he'll be out there golfing again someday. Who knows? What's interesting about that is the week before I was driving along, going a little fast, and all of a sudden this guy stopped dead in front of me, and there's snow on the back of his car, and I'm like, he's not stopped, is he? I'm like, yeah, he is. Oh, bam! I hit him in the corner, glancing blow there. Blew out my right headlight on the car, and I messed up my left leg. I must have slammed on the brakes really hard, and it popped off or something, because ever since then, I've been hobbling around here like a cripple.
Well, you went over to the emergency.
Yeah, but I feel like Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men in that movie, when he's kind of limping along and the car blows up behind him. I mean, I even did a video on that. See, I'm trying out for No Country for Old Men 2, because I know how to walk like Javier now. And really, if you hurt your ankle and you walk, that's how you walk. There's no way around it. Anyway. Hopefully I'll get better, because I'm still hobbling around now. But it reminds me of Tiger, so I got off easy. Yeah. I just got a little bruise. Yeah. But sometimes I've heard that a bruise is sometimes worse than a break.
Yeah, when I was doing my skating shows and I fell in one of a sit spins, and I really fell on my ankle, and I went to the infirmary on campus, and remember the doctor saying a bad sprain is worse than a break almost. It took me forever. Yeah. And even years later, it would puff up at certain times when I overworked that area.
Well, because you're going to completely immobilize your ankle if it's broken, and it's going to give it time to heal. Yeah. If it's a sprain, you might wrap something on it, but you're not going to be walking around with it completely immobilized, so it's not going to be able to heal as fast. So that makes all kind of sense.
It also brings to mind, when I say tiger, how difficult it was for me to say tiger instead of tagger. I come from Oregon, where I had a little bit of a different accent.
Okay.
And when I came to Chicago and became a teacher, I had to straighten up a little bit on how I said my vowels.
Really?
And I remember tiger was one of my hardest. I always said tagger.
Tagger?
Yeah, tagger. And it just dawned on me now. I thought, oh my gosh, how I worked on that word.
So I didn't think there was much of an accent in Oregon.
You didn't? No, we had different. I said tagger.
All right.
But for some
probably
reason.
a couple things. I know one thing. You cannot say Oregon. You have to say
it's Oregon.
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 And people that don't know any better say Oregon, right?
Yep.
But it's Oregon. Oregon?
That's the way we pronounce it, Oregon.
That's the way we should pronounce it. Okay.
But it looks like Oregon, G-O-N.
So I hope you guys get that straight now. It's Oregon, not Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's tiger, not tagger.
That's just remembered that took me
unless you're in Oregon,
so long working on my correct pronunciation to teach.
That's funny. All
right.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah. So I'm hoping that you guys are getting lined up and getting your vaccines out there. But here in America, in Lake County, northwest suburban area of Chicago, we are really falling behind, I think, with the vaccination process, so to speak, if you could even call it that. It's more like I don't know, sort of like a...
Well, say a crapshoot and go on.
That's right, pretty much like a crapshoot. Because I'll tell you what happens is you can go on the Barrington Patch or whatever, and my friend sent this to me, and there's like probably 25 different big box stores that are going to be available to give the vaccine, Walgreens and CVS and Walmart and Costco and all these stores, but they're not already doing it yet. But some of them are. It depends on what time you go online. So now you got to go online at like 5 or 6 in the morning at Walgreens and hope and pray there's something within 250 miles that has vaccines that you could schedule 2 vaccines for. And that's kind of what it's come down to.
Well, and 2, you might kind of want to rely on your doctor.
No.
But one doctor, my general one, through Amita Healthcare, no.
I don't think
and
so.
My other cardiologist through Northwest Community, no.
Well, this was a couple weeks ago. I started calling the doctors because this is what's happening. Mom has all of her family still in Oregon. See, I said it right. I said it right.
And they all have their shots.
And my Uncle Lee is calling. He's like, Francis, how you doing? Yeah, did you get that shot there? We got our second one, and we're all good. She goes, no, I didn't even get my first. And he's like,
Well, even my sister-in-law in Hawaii has both of hers. And then my sister in Portland has hers.
And they're like, what the hell's wrong with
and
you?
I'm the eldest of the whole group. They're all
what
going,
the hell's wrong with me? It's where I live. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It's random. It's like you can call and you can nail down someone. You can call the hospital and say, is this the right number to call to get on the list? Well, there is no list. How old are you? What kind of health are you in? Well, mom falls in that category, you know. And it's like, well, you just got to wait until you're called. Wait until you're called? You're going to be dead.
No.
Until they call you.
It'll come soon. They're getting the Johnson & Johnson
ridiculous.
Vaccine is in.
Yeah, but I don't want that one. That one is only like 68%
Well, they said
efficient.
Take whatever is offered. They're
sure,
all
that's
good.
what they're going to say. But
Yeah.
I want Pfizer.
Okay.
And hey, I didn't say Pritzker, did I?
No.
I want Pfizer because that's, I think, the best one out there. You know, anyway, there's an article in the paper today. This poor guy drove, 230 miles, or his circle reached 230 miles before he found an appointment last week at a Walgreens in Springfield, Illinois. You know how far that is from here? Oh, that's like 5.5, 6 hours. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I hope they get it, on track. I hope they get some more vaccinations out there. I hope to hell that we can all get that vaccine and move on from here. And remember, you still got to take precautions. So even if you get the vaccine, you get one shot, you wait 2-3 weeks, you get the other shot. I mean, immediately after that first shot, you're already, going to be protected to a point.
Yeah,
and then you're going to be like 98% protected with the other one. But then you have to wait. No, you have to wait 3 weeks for the second one, and then like a week or 2 weeks after that. So the whole thing takes like about a month and a half or 2 months for the process to get fully vaccinated and fully protected. Now, when you're out there, and if you catch it, and even if you're vaccinated, you can spread it to other people, so you still have to wear a mask. And people are saying, I'm not going to wear a mask
They even
anymore.
recommend wearing 2 masks.
Yeah, well, because people don't know how to wear them. I mean, look at the news. Look at the people. They got it on their nose, on their chin, on their ear, on their...
Well, you don't have to wear it to the racetrack, do you?
No, you don't.
Tell me why.
Well, that's a good point there, Ma, because the racetrack is being sold. That's right. We're talking about Arlington Park Racetrack.
Correct.
That's been around since, what, Mom? 1927. Now,
when I was born.
Does that year ring a bell, Mom?
Yep. Well, I was a baby.
1/26/27 was when Mom was born, and that's when they built Arlington Park, if you could believe
In
that.
In 1927.
And Mr. Duchessois is going on 100 years old, if you could believe that. Richard Dick Duchessois is going on 100 years old. And they interviewed him about the sale, and it's like, hey, what am I going to do? He sold it to Churchill Downs, which is a reputable company, and they'll do the right thing. And whatever they do in the community, it's going to be good. It's just a huge area there that's going to be very visible right off the highway there. And I'm sure they're going to make the best of it. I hope they put some kind of maybe an entertainment facility. They were thinking about like another area for the Bears to practice or something like that, which would be kind of cool. Instead of like Bourbonnais way down there, to be up here. Yeah, who knows? I hope it's some kind of a sporting event of some kind or an outlet, but who knows? I mean, I don't want to see like condos or townhomes or something like that there, but we'll see. But he's giving it their approval. He says, I'm out of it. Whatever they do, and I know they'll do a good job. So that's kind of what he's saying now.
He has always seemed to be a very nice gentleman.
He was...
Many good things are written about him, and about his military.
Well, yeah. He was in World War II at Normandy,
and then he served under Patton.
And he served under General George Patton in World War II as well. That was probably in Africa, right?
Yes, and he was always written up as such a nice gentleman.
Yeah, and if you remember in 1985, they had that huge fire.
We went to the opening after the 4 years when it came.
Yeah,
we were at the opening.
Well, that was something.
And we used to go there for Mother's Day.
Mother's Day was the
for
day
a
to
number
go.
of years.
Yep. Yeah. I used
Other
to go
than
with a lot of my
that,
friends.
we never went.
No, not that much, but it was fun. It was great. So it'll be a little part of history that's missing. But you know what? They're closing all over the world because, it's just not a popular sport anymore.
Well,
and there's gambling and there's casinos and all that other stuff.
And one of the other reasons people felt that they were being cruel to the animals.
Yeah, wow.
There's an article in the paper about closing all of the greyhound dog racing.
Yeah.
Because people were supposed to have killed the dogs after they were used up and got to be a certain age. And there's only 4 states that now allow dog racing.
Yeah, well, I heard that the horse and carriage buggies in Chicago are getting pulled too.
Yep.
Because of the cruelty to the animal.
Yep.
Isn't that a joke?
Well,
Come
you don't
on.
know if it's a joke or not.
They're
Maybe
treating
they
them
were,
like,
you know.
like the kings.
You don't
Come
know.
on.
You don't
like
know.
kings and queens, those horses. Come on.
You'd like to think they were.
They have to be beautiful. They have to be healthy. They're going to be out in the public. They have to behave. I bet those horses are well taken care of. It's just that
I would like to think that
people
they
don't
are.
think it's right.
Yes.
It's cruel.
Okay.
Okay, give me a break. So we all know that we're living in this modern age Zoom world now, right? Zoom, 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 zoom. That's all I do all week long. Now some people have caught on to the trend, okay? They have a virtual background with the name of their company back there. Looks nice and professional, maybe even a green screen to make the lines around them look nice and clean instead of kind of fuzzy and blurry and going in and out of focus like a ghost or something, okay? Other people have not figured that out. They're sitting right in front of a window outside with a glaring light and they're completely backlit. You can't even see their face, you know. Their head is in the bottom of the screen. It's like, you know, adjust your stuff there, man. If the camera's on the top of the computer, look into the top of the computer and get in there and don't put your face into it face first because then your head is bigger than your body. I mean, it's just like, it's common sense, isn't it? And then there's people that are like way back here and the camera's way low. Guess what we're doing? We're looking up their nose the whole time. That's not really appealing, especially if it's a female. If you know what I mean. I don't want to look up their nose. I don't want to see their chin right up there in the camera, like bigger than their face. Why can't people just figure it out? It's a Zoom world. Clean up your act. Get a little bit more professional. Center your head in the picture. Get a little bit of shoulders in there, for God's sakes. Wear something presentable. I don't care if you're sitting there in your skivvies. Wear a little shirt with a collar. That's all we care about. Smile. Pay attention. And then they're looking the other way when somebody's talking. It's like, excuse me, you're on a Zoom call with a meeting with other people, and we're all kind of in this together, and you're not even giving us the time of day. How rude can you be? I mean, it's just not right. I'm telling you. I mean, do you want to do business with somebody like that?
You're a little bit more into Zoom with the business world and the acting.
These people are just going through the motions of being on Zoom, and the camera's right on them, showing them going through the motions of sitting there bored out of their freaking mind. That's not right.
Well, it is rather uncomfortable in a way when you do a Zoom with your doctor. You feel like your face looks as big as a balloon. You're looking at all your wrinkles. All you see is that big head. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
You can't think about it that way.
Well, I feel that.
It's a doctor-patient. It's safety. It's so we don't have to go in the office and be exposed to COVID-19.
Oh, I know, totally.
That's why we're doing it.
But it is uncomfortable at times.
Okay, it's uncomfortable. But I would rather have a Zoom call with a doctor than to break our ass to get in there, and they're only going to allow you in there. I got to wait in the parking lot, you know, like I'm like some kind of third wheel that's not invited in there. It's like, really? I go in there on every single appointment with you, and now I got to wait in the car, even though they take my temperature and everything else is fine. And it's ridiculous. Zoom calls are great for doctor visits, as long as they don't have to touch and feel you and put their hands on you.
Well,
then you have to go in. Okay, so here's a question for you, Fran. What is the weirdest Zoom story that you've heard? Because I could go on and on and on and tell you.
I know, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Well, after you've been expanding on this, I think the weirdest article was in the paper the middle of this week. There was a plastic surgeon operating, I believe it was in Sacramento, California. I'm not positive. I couldn't find the article now, and I looked today. he was operating on a person doing plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And he was in court doing a Zoom thing with the court.
Oh.
And he had an extra doctor there on standby. And there's a picture of him and his scrubs and his stuff because he was doing this Zoom call with the judge in the court. And I thought that was the weirdest I've ever heard.
And that was in the paper? Why would he want anybody to know about that?
The article was in the paper.
Was he proud of the fact that he could multitask or what? What was he doing?
He thought it was perfectly fine. There was another doctor there.
What did the patient think about it?
How did I know?
They got like a third nostril between their eyes now or something? What the hell's going on there?
I just thought it was the weirdest that I'd heard.
Oh, well, I'd like to see the fine print on that operation. Do you mind if I do a Zoom call on court? Or, I might not be 100% here when I'm doing your surgery, but another guy is, just in case I mess up.
All right.
That's just great. So you're probably all wondering, when is this all going to stop? When are we going to be back to normal? Well, I have an answer for you. I think it's going to be September 2021. And I'll tell you why. Because I go to these small business virtual expos online, and they're online, keyword, they used to be in person. Now they're online. They're at every state in the union. About every 2-3 days, there's another event going on. But in September on the schedule, they're going back to live meetings. So I don't know if they know something I don't know, but I think that they think that by September things might be a little bit more back to normal. And also, I met a gal that recently got engaged to get married, and guess what month she's going to get married? September. So
I'm
there's like 2, 3, 4 things now that are all happening in September. So I have to think that that's when things are going to maybe get back to normal.
I'm shaking my head over that. I don't think it's till 2022.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But what I'm saying is, there's still a lot of people that that don't have anybody around, that are alone at home and having to deal with this all by themselves. And you can go a little stir crazy. I mean, look what I did. I went out and got this silly Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And why did I get that? Not because I was lonely, but because I wanted to work out, because I'm just trying to get this little spare tire off of here. I'm getting a little flabby around the middle, and I used to be able to go to the rec center over here and go on the elliptical bike and do some nice exercise for a half hour a day, go a little swimming, go in the hot tub. It was great. But because all the people were complaining because it's closed, they reopened it with special rules. Now, what do you think the special rules are, Mom? You have to make an appointment to work out. There's only 4 people allowed in there at one time. And the worst part of it is you have to wear a
mask.
A mask. You have to wear a mask while you're running and working out and sweating bullets and barely breathing anyway. Now you got to wear a mask. How could you possibly do that?
Well, how could you possibly not in the conditions of today?
There's only 4 people in there.
I don't care.
Come on.
You don't know who they are.
So why would they even bother opening? But you know why? Just to shut up the people that were complaining about it not being open. Mm-hmm. So eventually it'll be back to normal. But a lot of people are stuck at home, not able to do the things they want to do. So I got this Oculus Quest 2 thing, and now I could work out in VR. How about that? It's a lot of upper body stuff, but you actually have a VR coach that kind of walks you through it. And I'm telling you, this VR stuff has come a long way. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, you could go into like this virtual alcove and have your own apartment that you never had with all your pictures, your personal photos on the wall. You can play these little games. You could play checkers in there with a stranger from another country if you want to do that. Or you can invite a family member from the other side of the country to come and join you. Or you can go fishing. Or you can go to the beach. You could actually sit in a lounge chair on the beach and turn your head all the way around, and you're on the beach. And the water's coming in under your feet. And you can hear it. And it's pretty cool. It's very cool. I took Mom on a little trolley ride, a little tour of Paris. That was kind of interesting, wasn't it? What was interesting to see you with that little helmet on. That was interesting. But you did that a little bit, right?
Oh, some of it is good.
So, Mom,
No,
how was it? How
It
was
was
it?
exciting.
Yeah.
The cities I hadn't been to, like Tokyo, were more exciting than Rome. I had been to Rome twice.
Okay.
And it was just a tour of the downtown and most of the things that you see when you don't go there as a tourist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But you're immersed in there, and it's like 360 degrees around you. It's amazing what they're doing there.
No, it is exciting and it is great.
We could have won in a hot air balloon, or we could have, I don't know, go underwater. We can go out in outer space and tour the universe with all the planets. And I haven't even showed you that. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool. But anyway.
Well, I
anyway.
wasn't too excited about the Van Gogh one.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Van Gogh was one of my favorite artists.
Well, it
One
was
of a
an
Starry
animated
Night.
sort of.
They didn't show you the real painting.
Well, it
I would have rather had one that took me into the Louvre where I could see all the
Mom,
famous paintings.
It was.
But this was an abstract, or you were in with the sky movie and all the
It
stuff.
was an abstract
And it didn't do a
video
thing.
of one painting
I know.
to show how it could
But I
like
said I
move
did
in
not-
motion and be a living thing.
I
you
didn't
know?
relate to it like I would have if
Okay.
different strokes for different folks.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, fine.
Yes,
I
it is
understand.
great.
I understand, but I'm still gonna be, hell bent on finding something that you're gonna really like in there because
Oh, I
I'll
like
find
the
it.
tours.
I'll find it.
I
There-
like the
There's
tours.
a lot of cool things. You could watch Netflix in there on a huge movie screen, like you're sitting in the second row of the theater. Oh, it's just pretty amazing. Anyway, I got off on a tangent, didn't I? So where were we, Mom? Oh yeah, here we are. Here. So this is appropriate, Mom. Here's a good question for you. Have you ever felt lonely at any point in time in your life?
Well,
You.
probably not really growing up. I grew up in a large family. Most of the time, no. I think there is time you need to be alone to refuel. I don't think you always have to be with people.
Okay.
I could always find myself busy with other people and always had family members around. The only time I really figure being lonely was after my husband died in the fall. And when we stopped teaching in May or June, those first 3 weeks, I just didn't know what to do.
Now this was the fall of 1984.
84, when Dad died. In
That's right.
spring, it was
I
1985.
believe it was September
Yeah.
29th is what it was.
And I found it very difficult to be home from school alone. And
Yeah. So you were
I-
teaching grade school then. You had
always,
5 kids.
Yes, well, they were away.
Well,
they were all
some of them
married
were,
or
yeah.
out.
Yeah, well, 3 of them were home. Okay.
But I
yeah.
really watched tennis for day after day after day for like 3 weeks. And then finally got myself back in tow, back to where I should be. And no, I think no, because I like to find things to be busy that I really haven't been lonely. Well, usually I could find so many things to do in the world that I really wasn't alone. What about you, Michael?
Well, I think maybe I felt alone when I first went down to
Southern?
Carbondale, Southern Illinois University. I was the first one to actually go away to college in the family, and I was very happy about that. And for some reason, I chose engineering when I should have chose radio TV because that's what my dad was in. But he didn't really say that was
Encourage
something
you.
that I should do, and and he wasn't really that happy with it. But as it turns out, in retrospect, I would have been thrilled to be like a newscaster or a weatherman or even a camera guy or whatever the hell. Anyway, I can still do that now, right, Mom? Right? So when I was down there alone, I was lost. First year in college, freshman. So I used to go home for 3-day weekends. But then after that, I was fine.
You didn't want to go.
That's right.
Come home.
I
Yes.
was fine. I
Yes.
was fine. So that's it. So that's it for us, folks. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
And good luck to all you people out there on getting your vaccination. So long, Fran.
All right, we did it.
All right. And send it off.